Hurricanes are some of the most powerful storms on Earth. They are massive, rotating storms that form over warm tropical oceans. Think of them as giant heat engines. They draw their immense energy from the warm, moist air rising from the sea surface. This process creates a cycle of strengthening winds and torrential rain. The storm begins to spin due to the Earth's rotation, a phenomenon known as the Coriolis effect. This rotation is what gives a hurricane its classic swirling shape, a sight that is both beautiful from space and terrifying on the ground. Understanding these basic mechanics is the first step in appreciating their potential for destruction. Predicting where these immense storms will go is incredibly important. The path a hurricane takes, known as its track, determines which communities will face its wrath. A slight shift in direction, even just a few dozen miles, can mean the difference between a glancing blow and a catastrophic direct hit. For coastal residents, knowing the predicted track is a matter of life and death. It informs decisions on whether to evacuate, board up windows, or secure property. Emergency managers, first responders, and utility companies all rely on these forecasts to position resources and prepare for the aftermath of the storm's arrival. The impact of a hurricane extends far beyond just strong winds. These storms bring a multifaceted threat that can devastate entire regions. Storm surge, which is a massive rise in sea level pushed ashore by the hurricane's winds, is often the deadliest hazard. It can flood coastal communities with several feet of water in a matter of hours. Inland flooding from relentless heavy rainfall can also cause widespread damage, washing out roads and inundating homes far from the coast. And of course, the destructive winds can topple trees, down power lines, and tear buildings apart with ease. This is why we dedicate so much time and technology to forecasting. Accurate predictions save lives. They give people the crucial time they need to prepare and get out of harm's way. When you see us on the Weather Channel tracking a storm, every piece of data, every update is focused on one goal: providing the most accurate information possible to keep people safe. The science of hurricane forecasting is a constant battle against a powerful force of nature. It requires a deep understanding of the atmosphere and a commitment to communicating the risks clearly and effectively to the public. So how do we predict where a hurricane will go? We use powerful computer simulations called forecast models. These are complex mathematical programs that take in a massive amount of current weather data. They look at things like temperature, wind speed, air pressure, and humidity at many different levels of the atmosphere. The models then use the laws of physics to project how these conditions will evolve over time. This process allows them to simulate the future movement and intensity of a storm. Each model is a little different, using slightly different equations or initial data. This is where the term spaghetti model comes from. When we plot the predicted tracks from many different computer models onto a single map, it looks like a plate of spaghetti. Each individual line or strand of spaghetti represents the path forecasted by one specific model. For example, one line might be the American model, another the European model, and others could be from the UK Met Office or the Canadian model. Seeing all these lines together gives us a comprehensive look at what the various simulations are predicting for the storm's future. It's important to understand that no single model is perfect every single time. Some models might be better at predicting storm tracks in certain situations, while others might excel at forecasting intensity. That is why we never rely on just one strand of spaghetti. By looking at all of them together, meteorologists can get a better sense of the overall picture. If many of the lines are clustered closely together, it gives us higher confidence in the general direction the storm is likely to travel. It's a way of looking for a consensus among the different scientific opinions. Think of it like getting a second, third, and even a fourth opinion from different doctors about a medical diagnosis. Each model provides a unique, expert perspective. The American model might suggest a track slightly to the west, while the European model might show a path a bit more to the east. By analyzing these different outcomes, forecasters can assess the range of possibilities. This collective guidance is far more valuable than putting all your faith in a single forecast, which could easily be an outlier and lead you down the wrong path. A key reason spaghetti models are so useful is that they visually represent forecast uncertainty. When you see the lines spread out, especially several days into the future, that is the models telling us there is a lot of disagreement about where the storm will go. This spread is a direct reflection of the inherent difficulty in predicting the future of a complex atmospheric system. A small difference in the storm's starting position or the steering currents around it can lead to vastly different paths 5 or 7 days from now. The fanning out of the spaghetti strands is a clear signal of lower confidence. This uncertainty is why you should never focus on a single line on the map. It is a common mistake to pick one model, perhaps one that shows the storm missing your area, and cling to it for hope. This is dangerous. The reality is that the actual path of the storm could be anywhere within that spread of lines and sometimes even outside of it. Instead of focusing on one strand, pay attention to where the entire cluster of lines is heading. The general consensus among the models is the most important piece of information to take away from a spaghetti plot. This is also where the official cone of uncertainty from the National Hurricane Center comes in. The cone is not a spaghetti plot, but it is created using the same model data. The cone represents the probable track of the center of the storm. Historically, the entire path of the storm's center has remained within the cone about 2/3 of the time. It is important to remember that the cone does not show the size of the storm or its impacts. Destructive winds, storm surge, and flooding can and do occur well outside of the cone. When looking at spaghetti models, it is crucial to use reliable sources. Beware of random plots shared on social media without context. The best places to find and understand these models are from trusted meteorological sources. Media Group, close-up of National Hurricane Center website. Person reviewing official meteorological websites, stock, distribute _equally. The National Hurricane Center is the official source for all U.S. advisories. Websites like the South Florida Water Management District and University Meteorology departments often provide excellent up-to-date plots. And of course, we at the Weather Channel spend countless hours analyzing these models to bring you the most responsible and accurate forecast. Spaghetti models are not just a scientific curiosity, they are a critical tool for emergency planning. When a storm is several days away, these models give emergency managers a first look at the potential threat. Seeing the cluster of model tracks pointing toward a specific region is a signal to begin preparations. This includes organizing evacuation routes, readying shelters, coordinating with first responders, and ensuring that supplies like water, food, and fuel are in position. These early actions, guided by the models, save precious time when the threat becomes more imminent. As the storm gets closer, the spaghetti models tend to converge, and the forecast track becomes more certain. This increased confidence allows officials to make more specific decisions. They can issue evacuation orders for the most vulnerable areas, like low-lying coastal communities or barrier islands. Public works departments can prepare for potential flooding by clearing storm drains and positioning pumps. Utility companies use the forecasts to stage crews and equipment just outside the expected impact zone, allowing them to restore power more quickly after the storm passes. Every decision is informed by the evolving data from these forecast models. For you and your family, these models are your cue to take action. When you see the spaghetti strands beginning to point in your general direction, it is time to review your hurricane plan. This means knowing your evacuation zone and having a destination in mind. It means gathering your disaster supply kit, which should include enough water, non-perishable food, medications, batteries, and other essentials to last for several days. Do not wait until the storm is a day away to start preparing. Use the early warning provided by the models to get ready calmly and thoroughly. Ultimately, staying informed is your best defense during hurricane season. Pay close attention to updates from the National Hurricane Center and your trusted local meteorologists. Understand that forecasts will change and be prepared to adapt your plans accordingly. Spaghetti models are an incredible tool that gives us a window into the future, but they are just one part of the puzzle. By understanding what they show, respecting the uncertainty they represent, and using the information to prepare, we can all face the power of a hurricane with more confidence and resilience. Stay safe and be ready.